Welcome to the SportsLine interview segment. I'm AJ Groy, sitting down with men's head basketball coach, Giannini. Thanks for being on today.
It's a pleasure.
All right, you had a great season, 24-10, amazing season, the second 20-win season in a row. Let's go back to maybe where it all started. I mean, I know your season started in October, but, let's go back to Butler and VCU, two ranked opponents. Can you talk about those two games?
Well, people ask me about the turning point. I actually think it was the Villanova game last year, and the Villanova game this year was big. But that's when the nation paid attention. We don't obsess about national rankings that much. We think everyone's good. Just because you're ranked doesn't mean you're one of the best teams. But a lot of people across the country pay attention to those rankings, and to beat two ranked teams in the same week, especially VCU on national TV on the road, got the whole country's attention. We were flooded with media requests, emails, text, and it was an exciting time.
All right, now let's skip forward after a bunch of wins, heading forward to Selection Sunday. What were your thoughts going into Selection Sunday? Was it NIT or NCAA tournament?
Listen to Joe Lenardi. He's a local guy. He's a St. Joe's Hawk, which I'm not nuts about, but he studies this stuff and he's spot on every year. And he might be off by a team every once in a while, but he's usually spot on. And he told me, John, I'm pretty sure you're going to be in. So I felt good, but they made it so dramatic because they went through three regions. The last region's up, and I started thinking, boy, I wonder if this is the one team a year Joe might be wrong about. But when we heard our name called, it was great because it's been a goal of ours for a very long time. And when you achieve a big goal like that, it's tremendously emotional and exciting.
Now let's look ahead to the players. One of your leading scorers all season, Ramon Galloway. How has he helped the team, a spark plug, and senior leadership helped on?
Yeah, he's not only a very good player, but he is a great emotional leader. He's so enthusiastic. He makes practices fun. He makes games fun. He can motivate guys at the right time. He's got personality plus. As much game and talent and intelligence as he has, he might even have more in terms of personality. I think he could be a TV star or do just about whatever he wants if it involves personality. And he's been a joy to coach, and his teammates love him, and he's been an inspirational guy.
And speaking of the other teammates, it seemed like all the videos that we've seen out in California and on the road, it seemed like the team was clicking. How did that help throughout the season?
So the last 2 years it's been like that. They really like each other. And you recruit for character, most places do, but we've really emphasized it the last couple of years. But you really don't know someone until you're with them every single day. You could recruit him and watch him in high school and bring him on campus for a visit for a couple days. But when you're with them every day, week after week, month after month, you see what a person's really like. And our kids are just great guys, and great guys tend to get along. So it's been wonderful, and we hope to keep it that way.
Now let's skip ahead to one of the more special days of the season, the Boise State game, March 20th, 2013. And if we go back, it was the LaSalle University's Charter Day in, I believe, 1863. Yeah. And the LaSalle also won the national championship in 1954. And you got to win that day. Talk about that day.
It's unbelievable, and I often talk in terms of God's timing, and sometimes God's timing is surprising, but this was crystal clear that a lot of things lined up, and it was tremendous. A big reason you want to do well is not just for your fans, not just for your players, not just for the season, but for the university. And for the university to have its past and present combined in such a dramatic way on a national stage, I think was just great for everybody. And it's an honor to put LaSalle in that kind of national limelight at a time that's so important in its history.
Now on to the Ole Miss game. I believe you said a quote before the game. It's either we be in class at 9 a.m. tomorrow or we're in the Sweet 16 the next day. I mean, how did you feel going into that game?
Well, first, that was Christine Cahill, our team's Associate Director of Academic Support, because she knows those kids like basketball. Everyone here knows they go to class and they do well, but any college kid would rather be in LA playing basketball than being in class in the morning, right? So she says, Coach, you use that, I swear it'll help. And our kids played great. Certainly, we wanted to win because that's what you do, and it's a big stage and a great challenge, and you want to try to keep advancing, and that's exactly what they did.
And, you know, Tyrone Garland stepped up with the end shot to buzzer beater Southwest Philly floater. How did he step up in that game?
He's a really good player, and he's particularly good offensively, so nothing he does surprises us. He's incredibly fast with the ball. People asked about the strategy on that play. It was simple. We actually went with 5 guards to spread out their zone so there would be no one for the center to guard, so we knew someone on the perimeter would be open. So if you have that kind of spacing and give the ball to Tyreek Duren and say, take the last shot so then they have no chance to win, you know you're going to get a great opportunity. And because Tyreek's so unselfish, he always gets it to the open guy. Tyrone happened to be the open guy, and he was able to make the play. And he's a very talented guy. Doesn't surprise us at all.
Well, it was a great play at that. Now on to the Sweet 16, Wichita State. What did this mean being out there for the university, for the fans, for the basketball team, for everyone? What did this mean?
Well, you mentioned the Butler VCU week. We received hundreds of emails and texts from the LaSalle community. After making the Sweet 16, it was thousands of outreaches from all over the world and from people that I personally have known since child. And the reason why is the NCAA tournament is that big. It's only behind the Super Bowl and the Summer Olympics in our country. The TV numbers are bigger than the World Series. It's bigger than the NBA Finals. The whole country is watching. So for your university to get that kind of national exposure is just wonderful. And it was something that we'll always remember.
And another thing that you'll always remember is traveling out to California, the Staples Center out there. How was it like being with the team and traveling with everyone, you know, out there?
We travel all the time, and we always like being together. I actually think those 4 days hurt us a little bit. Now, Wichita State's unbelievably good. They had us down by 20, they had Ohio State down by 20, they had Pittsburgh down by 20, and they gave the national champions the best game they had in the tournament pretty good, well, much. They're tremendous. But I think those 4 days off broke our rhythm. We actually enjoyed it a little too much. Not that we were out socializing, but you lose your focus maybe just a little bit. You listen to everyone and how excited they are for your team, and you're excited, but I kind of wish we just could have played in another 2 days. But around California, cars were honking, people were waving at us, and yeah, people across the country knew who our guys were by face because of the television exposure, so they got to enjoy that celebrity a little bit.
All right, now on to next season. What are your thoughts on next season? New players coming in. What are your thoughts?
Well, we lose Ramon and Garvin Hunt. With Garvin, we lose a great chemistry guy and a great character guy. In terms of minutes played, Ramon's the big loss, but we're used to this. Earl Pettis was our leading scorer a year ago. People thought, wow, you lose Earl Pettis. But good programs keep moving forward. Players get better, key players come in. We're really high on Khalid Lewis. We're really high on Amar Stukes. We're really high on Jermaine Davis. We're excited to get Steven Zach back. So there's 4 players right off the bat that did not play in the NCAA tournament that will be key additions for us next year. And of course, we think Tyreek, Tyrone, and Sam are going to have great senior years. We think Jarrell's going to be perhaps the best big man of the Atlantic 10. So we have a lot to look forward to.
All right, well, with the new players coming in next season, I hope there's another 20-win season. I hope there's another NCAA appearance and maybe even a national championship. Well, so good luck to you next season.
Thank you very much.
For AJ Groy and Coach Giannini, we'll be back to you guys after this short break.